Hello, everybody. Welcome, Rosie and Arena Psych Investigators. So guys, I'm recording this after the fact because lately now when Querna and I talk, essentially we record while we were having a conversation. And because we start talking and I say, well, let's start recording now going forward. So it doesn't have, it's not as formal as like a conversation when we start, okay, we're gonna do it now. So it's also there's less pressure. So I'm just doing the intro after the fact, but Karina is definitely on the recording. Is a recording of she and I talking. Okay. All right. So thanks for watching. Let me do the protection. I'd like to ask for protection. A beautiful ray of light coming on top of my head as I breathe in. I feel my lungs as I breathe out, a greater circle, I step into it, I step into it, I feel protected, I feel connected. I'd like to ask that information come only from the highest sources, that I create the good and not the good, and so it is. Okay, so thanks for watching again. Now it starts the recording. Okay, so you were saying that you're talking to Alec.
Yeah, and he was showing me something because man, these kids they're really aware of what's going on. They really are. And they're paying attention. They all saw the tariff stuff, and they even know it's insider trading. They're disgusted by it. But so after I saw that, I was sitting in my room and I started to feel the anger of those tariffs because it's making, how I said I felt such anger in March. And I thought maybe that was the anger I was feeling for April. I was feeling everybody's anger because I usually tend to feel it before other people. And I could feel this anger creeping in. And so I saw that image of my head of him celebrating in the Oval Office with all his cronies. Yeah, he made this much, and she made this much, and he made this much. But what they didn't realize is what they were standing on was quicksand. They were so high up in their narcissism of money that they didn't realize that their feet were all in quicksand. And the quicksand was slowly sucking their shoes, but they didn't see it or feel it because they were so high on making money. And I heard them all, that evil laughter. Ha ha ha. Well, I felt, I heard that and I felt myself getting really angry. But then I was pushed back into this where I was looking at it all into another vision behind that vision, if that makes any sense. And then I heard laughter, but it was more, it was that kind of laughter. And it was a dark room. It was kind of smoky, but not, cigarette smoke or anything like that. It was just like foggy. So you could barely see, but I could see Kamala. I could see Obama. I could see Joe Biden. I could see, uh, what's his name from California? Gavin Newsom. I saw Jasmine Crockett, Adam Schiff. And I'm like, Adam Schiff? But and they were tee-heeing like, and I'm like, what the? They knew these guys just all set themselves up for insider trading. And Adam Schiff took the stage and he presented this. I always see this big, massive law book. So he opens this book and he's showing me, and he looks at me, he goes, I went through so much shit with these people. He goes, I'll do it all over again. And he goes, and he had all the evidence. He goes, when this shift changes, I'm coming back. And I know, is he an attorney?
I think
Because
yeah, he was yes, yes. Mhm.
okay, because he did show me like his like a law degree, but I wasn't sure if it was his or not. But I don't know if he's going to be part of it or not. But he was the one telling me that they just all set themselves up. Just bide our time.
Mm.
Don't get angry, Karina. Just, let it all play out. And they just all admitted to insider trading. And Kamala she was foaming at the mouth, foaming at the mouth. Like, who are we getting first? You know, it was that excitement of who are we getting first? Because they all just admitted it. So it calmed me down tremendously because I can just feel that immense anger. But I was really excited after that vision because it was very powerful and realistic,
Mm.
and they just can't wait to enforce the law. They just can't wait to enforce the law. And it's like, now now I'm actually they're giving me a vision of Jack Smith. He's sitting on a desk with his feet up. Ah, there's a Subway sandwich in front of him. I'm sorry. This is pretty funny. So he's sitting at this desk with the Subway sandwich. He's just eating the Subway sandwich, watching the news and laughing. So I'm telling you, they are going after these people when this is all said and done. So I don't think they're going to get out of this unscathed. Yes, they're making millions and they're joyful and they're celebrating, but I get that it's very short lived.
Mm.
For me, it feels short lived. So I hopefully it is short lived. But I'm telling you, they wrote their own indictments basically. That's what I get.
So, Gwen, I think one of the like the concerns that I have, and probably everyone has, is how much damage will does it make sense? Would Trump do to the U.S. economy? What?
Well, it's the same thing I saw the other day. They're only going to let it go down so far before the millionaires buy it back up, and it goes back up, goes back down, goes. So it does hurt the little people, but it doesn't hurt them. So it is damage. It is damage to us. It's like a roller coaster. But honestly, I kind of feel like it's more um, emotional and stress because it does go up, down, up, down, up, down, because that's what they're doing. Creating damage, buying it all back, creating damage,
So,
buying.
because for example, I've seen videos on YouTube of people who have small businesses, and I'll give you an example. It was somebody who I think he was a French guy who lives in the US, and he decided, this is how random it is, right? He decided to build acoustic panels that he sells on the internet. And he did, of course, the materials he bought from China. He said he placed an order for $27,000 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Now he would have to pay like, I don't know, some crazy amount, like 300,000 or something in tariffs. Like some insane, I don't know,
Yeah.
something like that. So he's like, my business is gone. I can't afford it. And this is, I would imagine, even the bigger businesses, the margins are not so, you don't
No.
have all the money laying around, right?
Right. Right.
What my question is, because this is a big part of the economy. I think it's a lot of small businesses, it's people with their businesses and like, right? So how, like somebody like this guy, for example, what is going to happen to them? Like, how many of these small businesses are going to go under? Does it make sense? I don't want to be dramatic, but
I
I'm
just
curious.
heard 25%.
What do you mean 25%?
25% might go under.
A quarter. So that's a lot, right?
That is a lot. But what I also get is that those businesses could come back and they could come back stronger. So I feel like 25% may go out and never come back, but the ones that can hang on for a couple months, it'll be okay because he's already pausing it because it you know what, you can't tell me, I'm going to use Jeff Bezos. What does he sell? He sells everything. Everything. You can get a coffin from windows to a door to, to food on Amazon. You can get anything pretty much on Amazon. So that stuff comes from all over the world. Do you think that's not hurting him? So he's not the only one. You know, where I live, there's plants all around us that have been, you know, popping up. They're manufacturing plants. All these people, their supplies come from other countries. So people are pausing their businesses. I even had a supplier for oils write a letter pausing what they're getting from other countries because a lot of our oils come from other countries and even we're affected. So that isn't going to be sustainable. There is too much. And, you know, they want to destroy America, but they do not want to destroy their own pockets. They want to destroy the little guy. So sadly, they will succeed in some of that. But my take on that is always, Karina, the little guy is the most resilient. It may not look like that on the surface because they're the ones that are the most effective. But when we come back so strong and we are resilient. So we are going to have losses, but we are going to have great gains when it's said and done. So it is one of those situations I can't tell you which businesses are going to go, but if they can hang on
Mm,
or go out in a fashion that
mm,
they could come back greater.
mm. Okay. Okay.
So I do always get this is
Mm,
very temporary, because I'll be honest, I know I've said it a lot and I know it's different now, but I still don't see all that energy behind this. You know, it is fizzled. It's just a matter of it having to go away.
mm, mm,
I hate to sound so flippant about it, but
mm.
that's how I feel.
So another way to ask about this, Karina, is like, okay, and so another thing is like, okay, tariffs. We talk about tariffs. Buying things from China, like shop, like Rosie buying fast fashion. Let's say just that's what it is. I like, right?
Yeah.
Uh, will it come back? Like, oh, so does it make sense? So, okay, so my question is, I'm not, because obviously I have enough, it's not like I need any of this, but I'm just curious because if you look to, for like in my habits, for example, I have
Mm-hmm.
packages from time to time. I order things. So, what's going to happen to like Shane or like these companies? Am I gonna continue ordering from them? What's gonna happen? Do you see anything? Uh,
Um, okay. I just saw the same letter I got from another supplier that I have.
mm,
We're pausing. Okay, let me say it the way it comes across. Can you just give me the words? Honestly, okay, it comes across as this. These big businesses that supply small businesses with products from China. Okay, let me switch this. Let me say this differently because I just got myself confused. I see about a month or so of them holding on and not doing anything. Like we're going to wait and see what happens because things have been paused for 90 days. I get that they know that this isn't going to sustain.
mm,
So they're not really too bothered by it either
mm,
because they can still ship to other places. So, you know, granted, China isn't happy with America and they will express that to Trump in their own way and they will be affected, but it's they're going to put pressure on Trump as well. So they're not as affected because they still ship to other countries. But it they're pausing the tariffs in America, they're not letting it affect their business quite yet by shipping to America. Because, okay, I'm just going to say behind the scenes, they're not paying that. How is that
But we pay
possible?
for it.
How is that? Who's
No, no,
paying
no.
for it then?
Just so you understand, we pay. So if I, okay, so
Yeah,
I pay for it. I would,
right.
the way it works is that there will be 100, let's say I said it yesterday, if I
Yeah,
order like a package for the equivalent of $6, I'll pay $14.
right. But
So
they're
I'm
not being
paying,
affected by that yet. So are okay, so
what I'm saying is this, because the price is going to be so high, it's going to impact how many people order things because we, the consumers, have to pay for it.
right,
So
right.
that's what I'm saying. So,
Yes. No, I understand that. But the consumer for one isn't going to order as much.
okay,
And so they're going to be affected that way and they're not going to like that.
okay.
But they're also not going through with raising any prices quite yet because it
Mm,
hasn't really taken a hold yet.
okay. Oh, so I see what you're saying. But I guess what I'm asking you is this going to, do you see it coming back? Because again, I'm asking this question just because it will tell us how long this tariff situation is going to last in for as far as like the stuff, like for example, or
Yeah.
packages from how long is it going to last, or is it going to be forever like this?
I don't know. I don't know. I
You
get
see me,
no,
I
not
guess.
forever. I still
Yeah.
get like 1.5, like a month and a half.
Let me see, because it's hard because I do, I'm asking about myself, but let's see. I see myself on by okay, so is it why four? Is it four? It's 4 weeks, 4 weeks, 4.5 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. Month and a half, because it's not sustainable to anyone, to the average consumer, to the business person, to the multimillionaire. It's not sustainable and it's not good for
Mhm.
anybody, for anybody.
Mm,
So, and you know what? I would say too, to the people that don't want to buy from overseas, don't buy from these guys that are in America thinking, oh, I'll buy all American. Be careful even who you buy American from, because they're the ones that are doing this too. We've got these guys out there saying, oh, I'm not affected. My business is all here in America. Well, they're the ones that are, you know, screwing us all over. So just obviously even be careful who you buy from here in America.
okay. All right. Okay. 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 That's clear. That's clear. Okay. So this is good, Karina. So what else would well, just let's see here. Any other subjects? One second. Okay. So another thing here I was talking to Karina about is like is this my I have this question. I was curious about this. The people that are, like the tech people that are very far right and are basically some of them are called accept. I don't want to get into this too much, but accelerationists. They some of these people actually believe that AI is here and AI is going to take over, and people are just going to have to, so they believe that by accelerating this progress, quote unquote, then everything AI is going to be here faster, and everybody's going to adopt the AI situation, and it is what it is, and whatever. Like I'm not joking,
Yeah.
like I'm kidding, but playing them, but they think that they believe that. So my question is, are these people going to wake up at some point when they realize, yeah, they're going to have to deal with losses, or are they going to stick to this mindset all the way to the end? Is my question. So
Okay.
let's see. Wow, I see that they're already furious because there's not enough destruction.
Yeah.
People are not losing their jobs. They're not because they fantasize about people being like begging for bread on the corner everywhere you go. That's what they want.
Cheese line. Yeah. Mhm.
That's what I thought. They're like, where are they? Like, I don't see them. It's not bad enough yet. It's not bad enough. It's not bad enough. So that's why, because actually there's somebody I talk about sometimes, a journalist named Jill Duran. He wrote this week, I think it was about Yarvin, Curtis Yarvin. He's like the ideologue behind them. He's saying this guy is mad because it's not destructive. It's the same thing. I feel like they're not hurting enough. They're still they're still out there protesting. What is wrong with them? They're not accepting. They're not accepting, Peter. They're not accepting the reality. Huh. They're baffled by us. That's
Yeah.
what I'm getting.
Yeah. How dare they? they speak out. How dare they want food?
Yeah,
How dare they want shelter? How
because it's
dare
like
they want
in
care?
their minds, they had it's a fantasy, right? The
Yeah,
world's gonna
because
collapse. The
yeah,
world's gonna collapse, and they're gonna be so. They're like, wow, these people are gonna be. They think that we're gonna be begging them for
yeah,
things, but it's not happening enough. So no, Rosie, there, and so say they have enough money. The people that are gonna suffer are the companies they have invested in. They're gonna suffer,
exactly.
but they don't care because they already are rich. So if they have to lose this or that company, whatever, they don't care. They're super rich. So they don't need money like we do, like month to month or whatever.
Right.
So they don't deal with the same concerns we have.
Mm-mm.
So it's saying they're living their it's like they live very isolated lives and they're
Mm-hmm.
very detached from reality. So that's why. So they stick, yes, and it just shows me that David Koresh that was in that compound that the FBI went
Oh
in.
yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Something like that. Like they're living in kind of their own compounds and like detached from reality. And they're willing to stay in that position because they believe it. It's like a religion to them. That's what.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when are they gonna wake up? Because eventually they're gonna have to wake up. There's like the cops are knocking,
Yeah.
something like that. Say when Elon goes, I see that they're gonna wake up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and it, when we were talking about him the other night and all the creepy stuff, Peter Thiel,
Mhm.
I had this little image at night that showed me when that okay, that information that we talked about the other night is already out there in public. It's not like anything new. We weren't, bringing anything up that's not already written or out there, but it's not mainstream. So somebody like Peter Thiel, they showed me when that stuff becomes mainstream and he is known for that in the public's face, that's the face of what he does, that is his lifestyle. That's when things start crumbling because they love their money, but their money is used for that kind of stuff. That's why they want their money. They like the power, but if you realize these guys are powerful behind the scenes, they use their power on little people that are powerless, and they're using humans for their own gain, and that is going to come crashing down, especially using people for their blood, that kind of thing.
Mm,
When that stuff becomes public, that's when they're really affected because that's what they get. They don't want to be known for that stuff.
mm,
They do not want to be known for their pedophilia, the way they are in life.
mm,
That's why they hide.
mm.
So that's what they use their money for. Their money isn't used for good. So to me, that's finally when things for them take a turn because it's so vile, so disgusting that nobody will be buying anything from any one of their single companies.
Mm,
So now that's the Peter Thiel kind of guy.
mm,
So I'm not speaking for the other ones because I don't know what they do in the backgrounds, but financially they're going to get hit just as hard because people are over this. We have figured out in society how to hurt these people financially, and it's going to happen to them.
mm.
We're going to get to the point where we will do without. We will do without before
Yeah,
we will put money in their pockets for much longer.
I see. Okay. Oh, you know what I see what's actually quite interesting is showing me here that what happens with these funds is that they have what's called the LP. So they take other like the money from institutions or very, very wealthy people. So they invest that money and they're supposed to give it back after, with big return,
Yeah,
which has happened. But what I
yeah,
see is that finally, because I've always thought this was very shady, the universities, like a lot of research universities, the ones that are being attacked by Trump, they put money to those VCs. And finally, after this is said and done, the universities are like, we're done with you. we're not going to give you money anymore. You finance the destruction of the universities directly.
Right.
Going to give you money anymore. So that's finally there's, you know what I mean? Because these people used to be like attacking public education, attacking everything. And like because the returns used to be high, they got away with it because the institutions needed the returns for the endowments. You know, billions of like Harvard, Yale, whatever, they have billions of dollars of endowment. Invest.
Right.
But if the returns don't exist anymore, they have no reason and they don't like them because they know how people are not stupid, right? We could see how those people have worked to undermine science.
Mm-hmm.
So why are we financing these people that are destroying us, really, right?
Right.
It
Right.
comes together, it's saying yes, their receipt, it
Yeah.
comes together. Okay,
Because
so
it's a form of blackmail. We give you the money for your school, but we're going to destroy the bigger picture. And it's like, so they can't speak out because they're getting the endowments, but yet they're being destroyed.
no, it's the
It's,
opposite. It's the opposite. I'm sorry. Like it's the endowments are the ones who have a lot of money and they give for the VCs to invest, right?
yes.
It makes sense. So it's not blackmail in the sense that like they're not pressuring the universities directly, but they're speaking out against the education in general. Does it make sense? So they don't,
Right.
it's a different department. It's like the finance department of these universities, whatever. But it's connected and they're afraid to speak up. The universities are against those people because it's so competitive. Like, oh, the funds that have big returns, we want to keep, our money with them. And then these funds collapse. So finally, they no longer have it. Doesn't make sense what I'm saying. So it's
Yeah.
in a way, it would have been easier if those people were directly attacking. No, but they're not. It's harder because it's indirect. Doesn't make sense. They go to the public to attack education, but they're very happy to take that money from these universities to invest.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. Right.
So like, so finally, it tells me there's a confluence of like these, and I think okay, it tells me something that I needed to know. Okay, just one second because I'm gonna write here. So you guys may or may not know that there's an AI bubble. So the AI bubble, okay, good. So the AI bubble is not, there's all these companies that are working on models. It's a long story. There's a lot of development in the AI sphere, let's say. But as far as money is concerned, it's overvalued and it's a big bubble surrounding it. And all the bad people are involved in the AI bubble. It's a fact. They're all pushing for this, like, oh, this world. Corinne, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
here. I'm here.
Oh, those companies are worth, $500 billion. Like seriously, they are saying this right
Right.
in my face. So what I see is that after this, Wall Street also saw it. That the same those bad people, they don't trust them. They know they're lying to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody's going to buy into these companies because it's too expensive to buy their stocks because it's kind of fake. There's something fake about it.
Yeah. They don't trust it.
Right. So then I see that you have said before, I can in the past, like we talked about it, this AI bubble of the valuations of the companies. There's nothing to sustain it.
Mm-mm.
So, and that is when these VC firms go down because pretty much all of them have invested in these like crazy valuations and nothing is going to return. So they're going to have to go back to the basics and it'll be very humiliating for them.
Right. Right.
A lot of them are going to lose all their money because they're going to have to pay back, like I
Mm-hmm.
said, endowment, right? Like you're supposed to give back more than with the money they put in, but if the money is gone, right, it'll be a mess. They're going to have to give
Yeah.
their own money back. So it's saying this is part of it. So, so that's
Yeah.
it's good, Quinn. It's good. That's what I get.
It is good. It may take some time, but it is good.
Wow. Okay. So,
It's
and
it's a
let's
it's
say,
a process. It's a process, definitely.
wow, wow. Okay. So, wow. Okay. So then, all right. So just one second. Okay. So Corinne and I we started talking in private, okay, about this because it is such a difficult topic. I think
Mm-hmm.
me and I was telling her, is it because I'm Latin and everything? So we looked at it, and so Supreme Court orders U.S. to help return man wrongly deported to El Salvador. So this is something that because this all started when we're talking privately here about the Supreme Court. So now you see here the title. I'm gonna just double check.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Return of Kilmar Garcia from South. So we both looked at, I asked, we both looked, is he alive? Is he gonna come back? What's going on? So I saw that he is in a prison, but sort of being put in isolation. He is traumatized, but I feel like he's being like he's not being put in the same place or position as the others because over there, as bad as they seem to be,
Hmm.
hardcore over there, they know the guy is innocent. They know.
Right.
So, and they know that they're Latin, right? They know that it's the same prejudice that they're
Hmm.
using.
Hmm.
So I see that he's like, oh my God. And he's been, I feel like honestly in some sort of solitary confinement, but more for his protection,
Right.
something like that. And then I see that he's hugging the family and there's cameras and he's put in a plane, he comes back.
Hmm.
So I do see it's saying it could be even take a little longer. But I see interesting. I see him coming back.
Hmm.
I see him.
Yeah.
And I see the wife being is that he has a wife, right? Like I think he right, and I think she goes there. There's something where they want to wait, they want to make sure that he's going to be okay, because this government is
Right.
cruel. Um,
Right. Exactly. Exactly. It's
that
like, yeah. Yeah.
so then I see, so then I almost like I feel like he wants guarantees to make they have good lawyers, like human rights lawyers helping them, and then I see that, but I see Trump exiting like from another door pretending like because it was done in such a it's just a horrible
Cruel.
horrible way they're doing this,
Cruel. Yeah.
and that those people and so I think that they don't want to, because this is the war. Okay, this is my mistake. I've been watching some Nazi documentaries, long story, but lately. So I think they want to do like that the Nazis did, but they don't have the support. They're not the Nazis. White.
Right. Right. They're
They're
not.
not gonna. And it's saying that the Latin American places over there, it's not because I know of course a lot of the history of a lot of Latin American countries, the right and the left or whatever. There's like torture and all that, but they know these people are totally random. They're not.
Right.
They're not political activists. They're not. They're
Mm-mm.
just literally random people who immigrated, and they feel for them actually. They're like,
Hmm. Hmm.
no, this guy, and there's this Bukeke, whatever his name is, he is very corrupt, but he's also not stupid. He
Yeah.
knows that like he just has to pretend that he's getting money from Trump for sure to do this. But I don't feel like, you know what I mean? Like I don't
Mm-mm.
feel like it's not gonna last. But I
Mm-mm.
guess my question, yeah, so he's gonna come back. But I still, but you know what I feel like then tell me what you got, because I guess I've been talking just
It's
like
okay. No, you had to get all that out.
that. I feel like the wife is gonna go. They're gonna be away from the U.S. for a while,
Yes.
not
Yep.
in prison, but they are afraid. This is even worse. Like they're afraid to come back
Hmm.
because they don't know what if
Right.
there's a whim. There's a whim thing
Hmm.
that they're traumatized by it. So
Of
they
course.
want to stay away for a while until they're trying to negotiate something, some sort
Yeah,
of guarantee or
I
something,
agree.
so that
Hmm.
he's not going to be rearrested, right?
Right.
So, and they
Yeah.
want also justice for the others because he's talked to the other people. There were
Hmm.
innocents, like, sent. They had, imagine you had the asylum thing, and now, you're sent randomly, like, right?
Right. Right.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
okay, so that's it, right? Goodness, but you tell me if you pick up more things, other things, whatever you.
No, I picked up two, like we had talked about, that we both saw him coming home, and I did feel that they wouldn't be back for at least 6 months.
Oh, wow, okay. That long.
Yeah, I feel like that is going to drag out for 6 months. Not so much drag out that, but that's the time it's going to take them to feel like they're safe to come back
Okay, all right, I see.
because they're so traumatized. And even if it's safer to come back before then, there's still a lot of paperwork, this and that, but they're traumatized, very traumatized
Wow,
to come back here.
wow, wow.
So I got at least 6 months, but I did see him hugging his wife and a baby. But I
Hmm.
think there was a baby in the picture, but I don't know if that was his. But I did see him hugging a wife and a baby.
Okay, okay, all right.
So I do feel like he's fine. And I agree that they're protecting him. And I also feel that, it's like the leader's going, okay, I'll just take the money, but I'm just gonna make sure they're okay. He is a nasty person, but for some reason, he does feel that the people that are coming there are family,
Mm-hmm.
they're family people, family men that
Mm-hmm.
have not done anything wrong
Mm-hmm.
other than being the wrong race.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. Wow. Okay.
So they're protected in prison. They're not with the other prisoners.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Okay. All right. Okay. So, okay, interesting. All right. So let's pause here. Let's see. So now, Green and I were talking, and I wanted to find out about those people that are close to Trump, were involved in the tariffs and the economic part of things. So we have here Peter Navarro. Now, Peter Navarro is the hold on, wait. Oh my God, it's so creepy. Oh, here it is. So he's basically he economist has been the senior counselor for trade and manufacturing to Trump since January 2025. He's a very pro-terrorist person. And
Mhm.
just so you know, guys, before he was in the other administration, and he was known for his drug, like he when he was a trader or worked in finance back, I don't know how many decades ago, he had $100,000 a month cocaine habit. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Guy. So this is him. This is the guy who counsels him on the tariffs. Now here, and this is the now Bessent is the secret. Oh my God, so now let's see here. Here he is. He is uh Secretary of Treasury, right? So and now Lutnick is the guy who owned Cantor Fitzgerald, the bond trader.
Hmm. Hmm.
So he is a very shady person. He's involved in cryptocurrency. So these are the three people that basically are the main advisors for economic policy for Trump. So I wanted to find out more about these three because I was telling Corina that this guy here, my feeling whenever I see him talk, because again, he used to work for Goldman Sachs. He's a serious, I mean, I don't say now he's a serious person, but he knows he's worked in on Wall Street. He's not totally, oh, look at Tim Scott. He looks so yeah. So but anyway, so it's like right? There's just something about him that I feel like there's compromise on him. Like, why would you lend yourself to this? You don't need to throw your career in
Right.
the trash. So okay, so let's ask Corina about what do we see now and in the next, I don't know, 6 months for this. First, let's start with Bessent. He's a Secretary of Treasury, and just a reminder too that when Elon Musk wanted to go get to touch the treasury, he said no. I saw him say no, so at least that was not a bad thing. But still, it's really like, why? Why are you doing this,
Hmm.
sir?
Hmm.
What's
Hmm.
going on? And let's see. Let's ask here. So, what's up with this guy, Scott Bessent? Where where is he going to be in the next? Show me what's going on with him. Wow. Okay, so let's see him in the next 6 months. So I don't, it's weird. I don't pick up much. I just see that there's a rope attached to his like a tail thing that Putin holds it. But it's kind of loose. I mean,
Hmm.
he has to go abide by whatever Putin wants, but he can leave. And I think at one point he gives up. Like I think he may quit. I don't know. It just seems like he's just kind of a very upset. Like it's affecting him physically.
Hmm.
He decides to just leave and he goes. That's what I see.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if you pick
I
up.
saw the first image I had was him. He had his hands like he was sitting. He was in a sitting position. He had his hands between his knees. He was crying.
Mm,
And he was kind of rocking back and forth, like, oh my God, what did I, what? He doesn't want to be involved in what he's in,
hmm
obviously.
hmm
And he's sick. He's sick to his stomach. He's sweating. He feels like, to me, I feel like I'm going to throw up. I'm clammy. My stomach hurts. He's made the mistake of his life. And now he's attached to Putin.
hmm
But after that, I saw him talking to the DOJ,
Mm, okay.
and it wasn't the current DOJ.
Okay.
It was made clear it was a future DOJ.
Mm.
So I honestly think he turns around and works with them.
Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, I don't get it's interesting. I get that he goes I think he leaves. He's not
Yeah.
it's so he's just acting like a clown, but I don't think it's gonna be like this forever. Oh, and the thing I picked up of him saying is like, wow, I came from Goldman, who's known to be like the kind of the best place to be on Wall Street, to what he describes to this random boiler room. Boiler room are the kind of like shady investment firms that sell scams. So he's like, what the hell am I doing here?
Mm-hmm. Why?
Yeah, and he's saying he's being used to put, I mean, again, he made a choice. I'm not saying he's completely innocent, but he's like, no, I don't have to be in this stuck in this low, like it's really bad. It's just so I don't feel like I think it just goes eventually. Not he's I don't feel like he's gonna stay for much longer. But then I
Mm-mm.
got this government's not gonna stay for much longer either. Okay. So
Yeah.
now let's go to this now let's go to Peter Navarro because I feel like the other one is really I know he's a bad like he's involved in very shady stuff. But let's go to this Peter Navarro guy who's the tariffs guy. What's going on with him? What's the deal here with this guy and where's it gonna end up?
Hmm.
What do you pick up, Corinne? What do you...
Well, I just have to say what comes through.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
I just saw him in a coffin.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. He was in that suit in a coffin. So,
Oh, I see it now actually. But what is well, it tells you heart attack. Interesting. That you know it's so sounds so it's natural causes actually. He's 70. He's how old is he again here? He's 70
yeah,
something. He's not that old, like 75. Um,
yeah,
but I see that he's just happy to be because I feel like he was not taken very seriously as like an economist. But now he's like, oh yeah, no, tariffs are great. Tariffs are great. He's not. He doesn't care about the nuts and bolts of anything.
no,
He's just
no.
a spokesperson, and he's there to kind of give some sort of credence to what Trump is saying. All right, and then anything else about him? Yeah, but I think I see he's coughing. He can, yeah, well, so, but is he gonna, do you see him passing away during the administration or after?
I think as all this stuff starts to break, it might be during that,
Wow,
between
okay,
that and when stuff starts to go down. Yeah,
right, okay, okay,
like he can't, his heart can't take it.
okay, okay. All right. Okay. So now let's go to this guy, Lutnick. I was telling Karina, he's so shady that he is famous for doing 9/11. His firm lost almost a third of their employees because they were all up there in the higher floors of the building, of one or two of the buildings, I don't remember. And he refused. He as soon as he found out people died, of course, he stopped paying salaries. So then there was this big scandal all the time. Like, what about the widows and all that? So anyway, so he's a kind of scummy character,
Yeah.
and he's involved now with what I think some of the shadiest things, which is this cryptocurrency called Tether.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, I think he allows them to have some sort of banking license. I don't quite know. It's probably very complicated. But what is going to happen he is the one I think is probably the most corrupt of those three for sure. So what is happening because he again is helping these money launderers essentially. So what's going to happen to this guy and what is he doing? Okay, so let's see. So maybe we pick up where.
Like, you know, it's this weird image. He's on his knees. He's wearing like black pants, a white shirt. But what he's doing? He's begging,
Hmm.
begging. he's crying, he's begging. And I was like, why are you begging? And it was interesting. You know how you just said he denied payments to everybody?
Hmm.
It's like, and I'm sure it's there, obviously it's metaphorical who he's speaking to, but I saw this, the head of the widows, and he's like begging for money. Like, I have no food, I have nothing. Can you please help me? And she puts like her shoe on his head and just like she's crushing a cigarette into the ground. Like, he gets the same treatment in his life that he gave others. So everything he denied them, their salaries, that's going to happen to him. He's going to be at some point destitute, begging for money. I really hope that's true.
So, okay, wow, you know what I see because it's sort of complicated. Just I don't even know exactly how it happens, but so there's these things called stable coins, and these are these cryptocurrencies that people use to buy Bitcoin with. It's very complicated. I don't get it necessarily, but he is helping them with their banking stuff. So those people are no. It's a long story about Tether. How there's all these people that are basically quasi criminals, mobsters. We don't know exactly, and he is helping them essentially launder money. That's what I think he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
On at scale, the big picture is that he's helping them with their activities, which comes down to essentially money laundering in a way or another, right? So
Right.
and I see that the government moving on, I see the feds taking over the business because it's so corrupt. They go in and they stop it from, but they have to get this happened with the, for example, SVB Bank. When the government takes over a business, they go in quickly over a weekend and they close the books. They have to they do this audit, and so this is essentially what they're going to close his firm. So his sons are taking over the firm now, Cantor Fitzgerald. So that's what I see is going to happen. Like, so that could be, oh, it shows me like a Madoff, right? Remember how
Yeah.
and took over the company, right? That the similar
Yeah.
it's saying similarly here. Oh, because he's involved in a lot of shady activity related to the bond market, because that's what Cantor Fitzgerald has always done is the bond market and money laundering together in some weird, complicated way. I don't know. So that's why he's going to be known as being a massive scammer. And
Right.
that's why he's not going to have, they're going to freeze all his accounts, his family's accounts. It's going to be like Bernie Madoff, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. So is it going to happen sooner? So, okay, so he's gonna, I see there's, when shops close down with a metal thing,
Mm-hmm.
like they're gonna close down the Trump government, and then a few months later they're like, well, it looks like I'm fine, whatever, talking on the phone, and then suddenly
Yeah.
come and shut down his family's farm and everything. So that's what I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
So,
Which
mhm,
would lend to him crying for money.
that's right, that's right. So, wow, very interesting. So, oh,
Wow.
we would, that's actually not at all what we're talking about. So that was that, Corina. What else? Is there anything? But I think this is good for today, right? Just to look at these people
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
what they've been doing, uh,
Yeah.
and how. So okay, just the last thing when I want to just address. Somebody left a comment like, "Oh, Rosie, the timeline always changes. Just pushing. You said this and you said that, but so let's just. I mean, I feel like I'm not upset
Well,
about it, but like.
well,
We
I'll
can't
say what I said
yeah,
earlier.
yeah. Oh, go ahead, Karina.
We are not the almighty source.
Mhm,
We are part of the source.
mhm,
So
mhm,
we get our information from source, but we cannot control the outcome.
mhm, mhm,
It's as simple as that. And I'm sorry that times do get pushed back, but there are things that happen to make time getting pushed back. And you can kind of see these little events that happen that kind of shift and change things. Even just the crowds that we had, that shifted and changed things again.
mhm,
So we have no control over that. Rosie and I do not have control over it. Other readers don't have control over it. We
mhm,
can only tell you the messages we are given,
mhm,
and we cannot predict time.
mhm.
So I'm sorry that we can't. I wish we could. But it's as frustrating to us sometimes as it is to others, but
Mm,
we can only do what we can do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So no, interesting, interesting, interesting. So
Yeah. And when Rosie and I put this stuff out, we are two girlfriends having conversations. So sometimes we talk over each other, sometimes we interrupt each other. When you do this work, it just comes flying out of you at times. You have to say what's on your mind right when it comes because sometimes you don't remember what you wanted to say.
mhm,
So we are two girlfriends having a conversation,
mm,
allowing,
mhm,
it to be put out there. So please don't, try to tell us how to have a conversation because that's what we're doing. We're two girlfriends having conversations.
oh, very nice, very nice. So okay, so that was great, Karina. Thanks for for the information.
Yes.
And okay, and that's it, right, for today, Karina, right? For
Yep.
okay,
I
okay.
do want to say one other thing Spirit's getting me to say to
Mm-hmm,
still hold the light.
mm-hmm,
Please keep doing that. Hold the light, hold the truth, hold the vision, hold the manifestation of what the outcome needs to be, what we all want to see. Please don't forget to have your eyes on the prize
mm-hmm,
and focus on that and focus on everything good around you and do good things. Help other people, keep yourself happy, joyful, do whatever you need to do
mm-hmm,
to
mm-hmm,
stay in that state and push that energy forward.
okay. Very good, very good. Okay, okay. Very good, excellent. Okay,
Yes.
so all right, guys. So thanks for watching, and see you tomorrow. Okay, and Karina, have a great weekend. We'll
Yep.
talk next week. Okay,
Yes. We'll talk next week. Bye, everybody.
bye.
Prayer and energy time. Let's use this time to send energy to people healing and going through complex health challenges. Their bodies need the energy we send them. Bo, recuperating from intestinal surgery at the Mount Sinai Hospital, battling cancer and winning. I spoke to her today and I felt her mother telling me she will survive and thrive. Cecilia, her sister, visits her daily. Cecilia is herself also battling cancer, and she's also winning. Bella is also undergoing cancer treatment. Let's envision her pain free and 100% cancer free. Treatment. Let's send Bo, Cecilia, and Bella energy. Bo, Cecilia, and Bella are fully healed, full of energy, cancer free, and proud to tell this story of great health and recovery. Okay, so I'm just going to be silent for a bit as I send them energy right now. And I hope you do the same. And also, you can think of others that you know, your loved ones, someone that you feel may be in need of energy, and focus on them. Okay? Okay, so let's start. I'll be silent here for a little bit. Thank you again. Let's create this circle of energy around them. And so it is.